Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
Welcome to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt. Now it's time to discover your hidden legal issue blind spots by listening to me talk about the law on the radio. Today, we're going to be talking with Sherry Ettinger. She's a longtime San Antonio resident and licensed realtor with Option 1 Real Estate, dedicated community servant who's stepping forward to serve the children and families of District 7 of the Northeast Independent School District Board of Trustees. We're going to be talking about laws designed to protect children, what's really happening in San Antonio real estate market, and Sherry's heartfelt legacy. But first, let's check in with the Financial Focus with Steve Warren, Financial Planning HQ. Welcome back to the show, Steve.
Hi, Todd. It's great to be back in the saddle again.
You mentioned in the past that most people feel that they have a written financial plan. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's ask that question of your audience. So, to everyone that can hear my voice, do you actually have a comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy? So that would be a written document, Todd, that you could share with your CPA, your attorney, your wealth manager, so really all of your subject matter experts. And it would be a document that's comprehensive. It has clear objectives. It has strategies for each objective that you have, an action plan, or what we call a greatest probability strategy. Or to y'all in the audience, do you think that the plan exists because you shared some mental goals with your advisor, but in reality, no written plan exists? So is it just wishful thinking? People often feel like they have a financial plan because they have investments, Todd. Mm-hmm. So I do hear that pretty often. I already have a financial planner, but it's actually a wealth manager. So they confuse basic wealth management with comprehensive financial planning. And a true plan is going to integrate wealth management, tax strategies, debt management, risk management, and legal planning. So consumers think they have a plan, but it almost never exists. So when I ask them to bring it to a meeting and they told me on the phone that it does exist, they don't bring anything because they really don't have one. So there's no strategy, there's no oversight, and people just think wealth management is financial planning for whatever reason.
So let's elaborate on that. What does that mean for people who have between $2 and $5 million in investable assets that already have a financial advisor?
Right off the top of my head, what I think about is it means that your listeners are paying $18,000 to $40,000 per year for basic money management. So let's ask your audience to think of it this way. Think of your money manager as a virtuoso trumpet player. They're incredibly talented at their specific instrument. They play fast, they play loud, they play flawlessly. However, they're completely deaf to what the rest of the orchestra is doing. Now, I would view us as the conductor. So the financial CEO think of that individual as a conductor who doesn't actually play an instrument, but they ensure, the brass, which is like the investments, the woodwinds, the taxes, the strings, which are the legal issues, and the percussion, insurance, every type that exists. They're all playing from the exact same sheet of music. So a beautiful trumpet solo can be ruined, if it's not really listening or it's not in conjunction with what the rest of the orchestra is doing. So if your investments, for example, are generating massive tax dividends, but your tax strategy isn't synced up to where you could plan for that, then you could be incredibly inefficient.
That's a terrific analogy. I love the band and the orchestra analogy. Yeah. That's really true. What if different players were playing different songs?
Yeah, that would be a bunch of
chaotic.
noise, right? A chaotic wall of noise.
Right, yeah. So how many of you out there have an actual written tax strategy? Tell us what that is.
A written tax strategy is, to some degree, it's derived from the client. So early in our relationship, we'll send out a document via email, and we'll ask them to give us their objectives as it relates to taxes, insurance, legal, wealth planning, financial planning. So the client tells us what's important to them. A typical one, Todd, would be we want to be more efficient with our taxes, or we want to pay less. I mean, I think that's pretty common.
Mm-hmm.
So the client gives us a strategy. Let's say there's 5 in the tax discipline, and a written strategy will be created by us and our team for each particular objective. And then there'll be an action plan to make sure the client does what they're supposed to do. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that'd be really helpful to have everything written down so that you're not just guessing and reacting.
I would say that your audience, I bet there's nobody out there that has a written tax strategy.
Prove us wrong. And you can call the show at 210-308-8867. This is Talk Law Radio, talking with Steve Warren with Financial Planning HQ about comprehensive written financial lifetime strategy. I probably got some of those words out of order, but...
Yeah, so your audience can give me a call, Steve Warren, at 210-685-2722, in case they need any clarification.
All right. One of my goals for the radio show is to help people see their hidden legal issue blind spots. And at the law firm, it's to have a written estate plan. You know, you can't have an estate plan that's not written. It has to be written.
Of course.
And so I identify with what you're trying to do and helping people with a written lifetime financial strategy. Well, what are they missing out on if they don't have that?
If they don't have a strategy, I'm just going to think of one thing, since we have 142 deliverables, but how do you measure how you're doing in actualizing what your goals are? So if your audience were to ask their financial advisor this question, which areas of my financial plan that probably doesn't exist are currently on track, what would the answer be? So this question would require the advisor to evaluate all 5 core planning domains: financial planning, tax planning, estate planning, investment planning, and risk planning, and give a straight answer, which are off track and which are on track. So how would your financial advisor respond to that question? If you go on a flight, think of the pilot checking all of the instruments, 5 instruments before takeoff. I would think that everybody out there would want to have confidence that their pilot has checked everything, the checklist is checked off, everything is good, and the flight's ready to go. And there's nothing left to chance.
Yeah, I hope my pilot does. So, Steve, some people hire a certified financial planner to write up a financial plan.
Yeah.
How is your comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy different from that?
If the financial planner can deliver a plan that lines up with the CFP board, then it's going to be a good written strategy. But what's different with us is that it usually ends there, Todd. So here is your financial plan, and it is written, but what about all of the coordination with the subject matter experts? And the big part that's going to be missing, because I think financial advisors are, to a large degree, politically correct. So they tell their clients what they need to hear instead of the unvarnished truth, because they're afraid to lose their relationship. And I used to be that way a long time ago. I've been in the business a long time, going back to the late 80s. So I think the accountability piece is a major component.
Great answer. You heard it from Steve Warren. If you have questions, give him a call, and he'll help you out.
And Steve Warren here, and my number is 210-685-2722. give me a call if I can offer any clarification on anything that I mentioned here, or if you would like to know what it's like in an initial meeting with us.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Most families don't realize they have hidden legal blind spots until it's too late. Wills, trusts, Medicaid planning, even protecting a business. These are the kinds of issues attorney Todd Marquardt helps uncover before they become problems. Todd is the host of Talk Law Radio, where each week he guides listeners through the legal challenges families, veterans, and business owners face, while showing them the practical steps to protect what matters most. Catch Talk Law Radio, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 6:30 a.m. The Word, and now in Houston on AM 1070 and 103.3 FM The Answer, or anytime on YouTube. Planning isn't just about documents. It's about peace of mind, security for loved ones, and building a legacy that lasts. Don't wait for a crisis. Do it before you die.